How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Type QQ, playing some more games. And actually, as of late, or at least as of today, not terribly bad, not miserable, not a dumpster fire. And again, kind of a revival of an old series. I played a lot of Crimzon Clover before I actually started uploading stuff onto YouTube. So that's why you may see some like old replays back in the library of in the furthest recesses of this channel. But I figured today, just as I was dusting off Mega Man 2.5D, I was like, shit, let's just play Crimzon Clover as well. And this run actually goes pretty well. It's a 1cc run that I'm actually talking over. I think I have a 1cc run over loaded onto this channel as well already without commentary. So I figured two of those would be kind of ridiculous. And this is also just novice, so I should be going on difficulty. This was really just kind of like a little fun run for me. Not really doing a whole lot of wild, crazy stuff. And certainly conserving my sort of brake power to when I absolutely needed it. But first, let me explain a little bit of Crimzon Clover for those who don't know. You have your normal fire, which you see is that spread fire. Then you see a concentrated fire as well as that sort of blue ring that flashes out. When that flashes out, that sort of circle, it locks onto other enemies. So when you release that, it shoots out like little missiles that do, not a ton of damage, but a considerable amount of damage to those enemies. On top of that, you have your sort of bomb / brake meter is what you see in the top right corner there, saying brake standby. How that works is that you don't necessarily okay, here's how to explain it. You kind of have unlimited bombs. However, your gauge or the amount of points or kills or what have you that you need to reach your bomb incrementally gets more the more you use it. So your first bomb comes immediately, but then as you're using 100 bombs, it's going to be harder and harder for you to get a bomb. However, on top of that, if you fill your bomb gauge, then it turns into your brake gauge. And your brake gauge kind of clears all the bullets on the screen, and as well turns you into like a badass for a moment. While you're on badass mode, you can even get into double badass mode. So yeah, that's kind of it right there in a nutshell. I'm also using the sort of unlockable boss ship. I forget what it's called. The Type Z or something like that. I don't remember at this time, but it's listed in the beginning of the video that I kind of skimmed through. But here we are to the first boss, and you're going to see how brake mode and double brake mode works. Here's brake mode, and things here. And you can see how that second bar beneath the first one was kind of, absolute murdering. Was kind of used for our double brake mode as well. So here we are. We can pick up a few different things, but of course, if we're going for the 1cc, we'll go for the 1-ups every time. As well as it will tell you in the top right screen how many stars you need for your next life. So, a generous game for sure. There's plenty of ways of getting extends and 1-ups, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is one of my favorite PC shoot 'em ups, and a lot of other people's for a lot of good reason. There's not a lot to hate about this game. It's got a great soundtrack, fluid controls, really great design, pretty simple, pretty clear. You know where the enemy bullets are, and even when you're using your main fire is purple, you still have pink and blue bullets coming at you, green bullets coming at you. And even when those enemies would have purple bullets as well, I don't necessarily find it too confusing where their bullets are and where my bullets are. They're still very different. And it's even, you know, you can even tell that my primary fire is almost like a muted color, where it's not necessarily profound. It's almost like a background, where everything else, all the important stuff, is foreground color. I think that's kind of a smart design choice. Sort of a mid-boss here. And you can see with my lock on the bottom of the screen there, with as you hold the lock on it, it does put so many missiles in this sort of canister, as it were, and when you release them, they kind of home to other enemies. It looks like we may have just picked up maybe something, some little thing. Yeah, and as I was saying, you know, there's a lot of great stuff in this game, and I certainly think soundtrack is certainly up there as well. This soundtrack really gets my blood going, you know, gets my blood pumping, and really excited to play these games, or this game in particular, rather. You know, I think, yeah, second level, yeah, this boss, coming right up. This boss's theme is, I think, my favorite in the game as well. And probably one of my probably my top 10 of like shmup boss themes as well. This is a pretty awesome theme. Very evil sounding, very ominous. Certainly with this guy, you have to kind of, you do want to focus damaging his main body, but you do want to take down his legs as well. And what we're really doing is we're getting him to a point where I know I can pretty much put him away with my break. There we go. And right into double break as well. And there's that. You know, a lot of times, you know, some of these guys will have attacks later in their forms that are pretty nasty. So it's kind of cool to, you know, damage them when you can during some of the easier modes, and then just blitz them right at the end. And so far, no damage taken. However, I think this stage may change that. Some of these stages later on, like this stage and next stage, actually do offer some bit of a challenge. Alright guys, I am back. You may not have noticed in the splendor of editing, but I just had to step away for a little bit to take care of some baby issues. Mostly bottling and diapering, that sort of thing. But we're back on this. In fact, this is going to be a kind of a whole sort of baby episode with a little pause break that's coming up a little bit. But I guess that's kind of that's sort of rules of the road when you're a new parent, you know. Things just happen. Sometimes the baby doesn't know that he either playing a game or talking over your games, you know, baby's things matter more, I guess. I don't particularly blame him. Especially if he has a wet diaper this early in the morning, that sort of thing. But yeah, we're on stage 3 here. I think, there we go, we take our first damage. Our first death, which I'm not too surprised. This level can be where the sort of the challenge starts happening. Especially with those swarm enemies with the all those many ants and stuff. Probably not, you know, we probably certainly could have prevented it, but I'm not entirely shocked that's where we die. Or at least lose our first life, rather. Another mini-boss here with his lasers. Makes some pretty quick work of him. There we go. That actually, those points actually picked up an extra life as well. So that's kind of what you want to do if you're going for the 1cc. If you can't get the 1-ups, get the extra stars, the extra points, and hopefully that will push you towards your next 1-up. Some of the more chunkier enemies there. Luckily they have all kinds of breakable pieces on them. Yeah, and this level, it really does like start really getting crowded. I mean, even with your homing and everything, it really gets kind of silly. And there we go, we lose another life. Easy come, easy go. Sadly, you know, we did well picking up points when we could, but overall, I don't think it's going to matter entirely too much. You know, it won't be the perfect like no-hit run or anything like that, no death run, but yeah, this level is really claiming our lives. I think this is kind of probably where we start breaking into that break a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We held off as much as we could. Not that it's a bad thing, but you know, I kind of like to save it for the boss. But this stuff is getting a little too wild. Even a bomb use there to get rid of that corpse flower on the side there. It looks like we still were able to get a break, so or get the break gauge up. On to the 3rd level boss. And this one can certainly be tricky if you're not used to moving around the map, or not the map, the screen rather. Yes, this is the boss with the lasers, that's for sure. But you know, if you can do some damage and like I'm doing here, where you can kind of get out of it as much as you can, or at least try to mitigate as much of the using the double break here to deal as much damage before the lasers become too much of a hassle, and we actually get away with it. Those lasers will actually, you know, extend to the full sides of the screen and actually start rotating around, pushing you all around. So luckily, using the break early in the stage didn't hinder our opportunity to use it there in the stage, in the boss here, to get him through that. And overall, despite the fact that we got beat up in this stage, we dealt with the boss pretty easily. And able to get this one up. Good stuff, good stuff. On to another pretty awesome stage here. Second to the last stage, in fact. I do have to say the track for this stage is pretty awesome as well. But also just doing our best to keep enemies off the screen, because this stage is certainly one where they're going to start really piling them on, and you don't want them to stick around too long. And adding more chaos and confusion to your objective. Into the clouds. Yeah, and this stage introduces those sort of jet planes there that kind of come out. They're certainly the type that you really want to kill as soon as possible, because they do have those giant red sort of waves, or blocks rather, that they can fire out. And you don't want too many of them on the screen. Sort of mini boss of sorts. I think we're going to face, yep, 2 of them. Like rip off the hood to expose a bunch of little enemies underneath. Yeah, and these guys certainly can be a test of patience, I suppose. I don't know, a test of perseverance. You know, they have those death lasers surrounding you, as well as they're firing it on you, so you kind of have to keep an eye on everything, and really not so much on firing forward. Got a free life there from our points. You certainly can get away with not really looking at who you're firing and shooting at, because you do have your homing lasers as well. But yeah, that area can be an area where you can cause a lot of problems, or make a lot of mistakes on that matter as well. There we go. Didn't really choose to go for the double break. I just kind of needed a little extra hand to kill off this thing. Of course, we pick up some extra stars. Yeah, and things in this stage act more quite suicidal. Really, they don't really particularly care whether they're shooting you or not. They're just going to run into you. Sort of a bad move there, I suppose, or just a lucky shot. I didn't really see what got us, but something grazed us. So it seems like very much of a sort of trend of we get a free life and then we lose it. Maybe a little premature on that break there, but I think we can recover it real soon with this boss here. A lot of breakable areas. Yeah, and just like that, we're up to our break again. And I think we've only used one bomb, so it's our gauge for that certainly hasn't really gone too high. Alright, now this form is going to start switching off all kinds of different weaponry. But none of it really has a lot of staying power, so you can really get away with like just going back and forth like I am now, just smashing everything. Yeah, pretty easy. at least that mode, but I would not be surprised. There we go. I was saying, I would not be surprised if we went for the brake mode just for this last form, just so we could. There we go. Just so we can defeat him before things got too silly and out of control. And another one up. So just as soon as we lose one, we gain one. As soon as we gain one, we lose one, that sort of thing. A little frustrating, but at least, you know, it's not a... You know, at least it's not like a downward spiral sort of thing, I suppose. And on to the final level. Pretty extreme level. This is quite the fun level. A lot of things going on, a lot of enemies, a lot of reviewing type of you know, reoccurring baddies as well. And one of those things where it's like you know, one of those slow moving stages where you don't quite know that you're on the final boss until you're on the final boss, that sort of thing. Really well placed, really well designed, and kind of pretty clever, I think. Gotta watch out for these lasers. So the thing about those is that you don't quite see where they're shooting. They don't quite come into the screen until they're pretty much firing up on your position. And there is just about tanks everywhere. And unfortunately, these lasers are putting us in a bad place, so we're using our brake mode here. Just absolute chaos. But our brake is back just as quick. I got a lot of things in this world. Get too much? What about you, Type QQ? I'm not really sure what that message is supposed to mean, I suppose, but foreboding maybe, all the same. Someone's trying to contact us. We've come upon somebody's radar. Fucking... I could even imagine for you guys watching this video, this could probably even be a strain to even watch. There's just so much going on. But hopefully this game goes on sale again. This last summer sale, I guess I really should have covered this game more, but it was only like $2, like maybe $2.50. It's a quite the bargain when you're talking about maybe like the best shoot 'em up on Steam, being one of the cheaper ones. You know, that's pretty remarkable, I would say. More tanks just blasting right through them. And fuck it, this big old tank is running them over too. Kind of a precarious position there, like almost like wading into those missiles. Luckily they're destructible, but kind of playing with fire there all the same. Luckily able to kill him. I think he might drop drop something, but it looked like it fell right on me. Hopefully it was Hopefully it was points, but yes, here's the pause that I was talking about before. I had to pause the game because at this moment the baby was crying a little bit, so I had to get up and make him happy again. But it was only for a quick moment. But yeah, the challenges of parenthood, I suppose. But I apologize. You know, maybe I could have cut this part out, but oh well. It's in there. It's in there. It's only a short time anyway. Or is it? I don't know. Things have gotten real awkward. So, how's everyone doing? What other news is going on in the world today now that we have this little break here? I don't know. Politicians trying to ruin the world as usual. What else is new? The new Castlevania on Netflix. That was real cool. If you have not seen that yet, check it out. Also, if you're a pro wrestling fan, there's a series called Glow on Netflix as well, which I enjoyed a lot. Oh shit, we're back. We're back. A little Netflix break there. And here we go. We got the level 2 boss crawling from the grave. Not quite dead yet. Which is weird, because I thought I remembered him exploding, but here he is yet again. And it's kind of a cool revision as well, where he's kind of crawling up and you can't really hit him with your primary fire anymore. It's all missiles. You have these silly tanks that are coming down by parachute, trying to flank you and get a cheap shot in. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. I think this is going to be the last video I do for the night, as things seem to just kind of be falling apart. I think that's kind of when the old bed is beckoning, I suppose. Alright, hopefully this means he's dead for forever now. Yeah, maybe we should have used our break there. We held on a bit too long for it. There we go. We heard that laser coming that time, and that time we're just going to blast through. That's the thing about mistakes, I suppose. You know, you're only allowed to do them once. Learn from them and don't do them again, that sort of thing. Here we are using our break again, just ruining that guy before it gets too silly. And here we are. Boy, don't those little things look familiar, huh? They're like the ones that are on my ship, or around my ship, rather. I suppose using this ship is kind of breaking canon or storyline or something, but yeah, I'm using, in fact, the final form of the final boss with these guys. That's kind of the makeup of my ship. And here we are, with some awesome rocky music. We are now fighting the final boss. 3 men in the canister, and a final boss. So yes, the strategy of this guy is make sure those big walls are spread out so you can give yourself some time to bounce back and forth. And once you find out the groove and once you find the pattern, some of this stuff can be pretty easy. You know, he's just trying to move you to certain safe points of the stage. So it's just remembering where those are, and you're good to go. And here he has like a bunch of little nodes growing and shooting lasers. So you very much want to keep your homing lasers healthy and active. And here we go, something that really shocks the player the first time is this sort of aggressive bouncing. And also, what you may not know as well is, in this mode, hitting your brake, your super firepower stuff is sometimes a bad move, because he'll actually get aggressive and start bouncing faster. All right. Is it the end? It is not the end. Get some more points. Looks like we're right under a free man, but I'm not so sure we're going to get it. Yeah, just like 1,000 stars underneath. Maybe 900 for another free man, but I'm not so sure this guy has any sort of breakable parts. Get the fuck out of the way. There's something with bosses and big death lasers, huh? You finally got us that time. There we go. We did finally get that free man, but we also did break into our break there, or double break rather, so we're really pounding the damage to him. But that's the end of that. 3 lives, final form, 2 lives in the final form. And you can kind of tell how similar this boss is to us. Used a bomb there, and we still have another bomb in the canister. And the break, actually. Those green bullets can be, Alright, so he took another life before us before we killed him, but still 1 CC. Still wasn't able to take us to a continue screen. Good stuff, good stuff. It's always fun to load up this game and check it out. And there you have it, another awesome run in Crimzon Clover. World Ignition, I suppose, is the proper name to call it as well. I certainly suggest this game. If you are even slightly interested in playing, shmups that you've seen on this channel, I would certainly suggest this one at number 1, possibly. If not, games like Mushihime Sama and other cave games, that sort of thing. You know, when it comes to if you want like an independent sort of indie title, yeah, this one would probably be firmly placed at 1. You know, maybe Ikaruga, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's terribly indie, but maybe. But yeah, this game's got all kinds of great modes, from regular arcade to this, you know, normal mode to like time attack modes. You know, if you're into the caravan stuff, it's got it all. Plenty of different ships, like 3 or 4 ships. Ricardo, Faro, Anubis, Ribeiro. Okay, dude. Okay. Special thanks to Shrimp Boss and Cake Boss. $2014. Probably the American launch. 2014, Japanese 2010. Probably sounds about right. Shooting game, never die. Praying that the lucky clover will always be in your heart. Okay. Not the best score ever, but we'll save it all the same. Type Z. I thought I got that right, Type C. I forget what I called it before, but it certainly does sound familiar now. In there with our second best. Alright, that's going to be it for this time, for this run, for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff, and we'll come back to this later.